We are live and recorded, but welcome. It is our Monday night team call, and we have lots of things to talk about. But right before I had hit record, I was talking to Kim Boyd, who is part of the 30-day breakaway test group. And, one of the things that I think is so incredible that not everyone gets to do, but some of you can still qualify for, is to be a success starter in 2020, or be a success starter after you start coaching, to earn a spot in a test group. So if anyone here, is this anyone's first call? I feel like I recognize a lot of faces, maybe not all of them. You can drop it in the chat if you are here for the first time. Oh, there's one. Sammy, welcome to your first team call. So one of the things that they started in 2020 was with the Success Starter program. It's always been, if you hit Success Club in your first 3 months as a coach, you can earn your summit ticket, which is a $300 value, huge perk for showing up and doing, your daily job of hitting Success Club. But something they added to that Success Starter program this year is that if you hit Success Club, they extended it. Instead of it just being your first 3 months as a coach, it's now 3 of your first 6 months as a coach. You also get an exclusive spot in a test group. So Kim was just sharing, not only was she able to get results, now she's able to use that to leverage a brand new program before it launches. You get an opportunity to talk with the trainers and meet other people who are also success starters like you. So you've got, potential success partners in this group. And it's honestly just an amazing perk. So I know Lena is on here. She's hit month 2 of her success starters, going on month 3. So just something to keep in mind, whether you're brand new or you have a coach in your downline who just got started, make sure they are aware of that opportunity. Tara, you get to do your test group next week. So Tara, I assume you're in the Control Freak one. I'm trying to find you. I don't see you. I know I saw you at one point. I'm assuming it's the 9-week Control Freak. Just such a cool opportunity. So just something to keep in mind. Yes, there's so many other things. You're earning income. You're probably building a team. You have all these things, but I don't know. I always loved that opportunity. That was something that was like on a goal board of mine when I first learned that coaches got in test groups. I was like, this is the coolest thing ever, and how do I get into that? But the 30-day breakaway program will be our next program that's coming out. We will have a call with the creator of it, and I apologize because my name is blanking, but we'll have a call with her in the upcoming week. So we'll be able to get a little bit more information about the program. The sample has dropped. It dropped today. So if you haven't yet, like me, make sure you check that out. I will admit, I am not a runner. I have never been a runner. I don't even want to be a runner, to be honest with you. However, as part of my job, I know that it is my responsibility to try the program, to understand the program, and to figure out who in my market could this program benefit. Because even if it doesn't benefit me, there are definitely people that it could benefit. So little plug there for that. This isn't what this call is about. This call is not about the new program or launching a program. I want to talk to you guys about what you need to be doing right now if you are in a season of busy. Has anyone answered a question in the last few weeks when someone says, how are you, that you say busy? That like anyone else, that's like all the heads are nodding, right? Like that is everybody's response. How are you busy? I don't even know that you think about it. I mean, and when I say you, I mean me too. Like I don't even know that it's a conscious thought. It's busy. Life is changing. Nothing's guaranteed. There are twists and turns at every corner, and life is busy. So how, when it's busy, do you show up for a job where you have no boss, where you have nobody that is saying to you, you need to show up for work today? Because while everyone on this call has an upline coach, and you are, fortunate to have an upline coach because you are part of one of the largest teams in the entire network, and that is a blessing, nobody's going to be here to tell you what to do. That is on you as a business owner and as your own CEO to show up and do the work, because you have goals you're working for. So that is going to be our topic of the call tonight. I will share my screen because otherwise I will get majorly off topic. But why am I not seeing? Hold on. Maybe I think I still have Zoom up. So hold. Now I'll go back and share my screen. And of course, as always, if you guys have questions, drop them in the chat. I will stop periodically to check that out. But okay, you guys all see my screen? All good, get a thumbs up. So like I said, the topic of this call is what we're gonna do in the season of busy to rock your business. And because there are some new people on here, I know it says Melanie Mitchell here. My name is Megan Blinka. I will be your host for tonight's call. And as always, drop any questions in the comments or just, reach out to me after if there's anything that you would like me to clarify. But first and foremost, in order to rock your business, you must know what you are working for. Now, I'm not going to go into the vision board that's, hanging on my wall and all the hopes and dreams and big wishes and childhood, this and that. The big thing that I want everyone to know is what is getting you out of bed in the morning. I can say that when I started coaching, the thing that got me out of the bed in the morning was the idea of grocery shopping without needing a coupon. It was as simple as that. I hated going to the grocery store and being limited to the items that were on sale or that I had a coupon for. So it was, not a big dream house or dream vacation or all these things. I really, truly just needed to go to the grocery store without the stresses that I was experiencing at that time. That was what was able to get me out of bed in the morning. As my business grew, the driving forces grew, my goals changed, and I, began to develop other things that I was working for and goals and a future and all these vision things. But there has to be something that is going to get you out of bed. That when that alarm goes off, that says, I would rather get up and work versus lay in bed and sleep. That is the first thing that I want you guys to think about. And if you don't have that thing that is going to push you to no end, that is something that you need to really sit and think and pray about, because that is, to me, is one of the biggest things you need to be successful in this business. The other thing is, as we're going through this, what we always say, I don't even know anymore, but it used to be find a why that makes you cry. And it doesn't have to make you cry, but I want you to have a why that you are writing down or you're reading back to yourself, or it's sitting on a sticky note on your desktop that you're staring at every time you sit to work, so you know what you're focused on. Because when that's a constant reminder in your head, sending the invites or sending the follow-ups is natural. It's easy. It's part of the day. It's what you're going to do. And you don't think about, oh my gosh, I'm going to annoy someone. Or you don't think about, oh, I should probably switch the laundry. You just get down and do the work. So that is first and foremost the most important thing that I want you guys to start thinking about. And when it gets busy, it's super easy to start slacking on your own journey. So if you have experienced that in the last few weeks, feel free to drop it in the comments of the chat bar. But it can get really easy to put yourself last, because you're transitioning to school, or maybe you're homeschooling, or you're hybrid schooling, or you're driving to school now instead of putting the kids on the bus. Or you're a teacher and now you're teaching hybrid and virtual and all these things. It's a crazy time. And it's easier to say, you know what, I've got to take care of all these other people, so I'm going to put myself last. But with this business, your personal journey is the greatest thing that you have to be able to connect and relate to other people. Now, that's not saying that it should be easy, that it should be flawless, that you should show up each and every day saying, I am just wonderful and I work out because I am a unicorn. Like, that is not it. Showing up when you're tired and sharing why you're still showing up. Showing up and sharing the results and the progress in a time where it's hard to make time for yourself. I know for me this morning, I truthfully have been struggling with the snooze. It has been an ongoing thing. My husband and I were working out together. We made it like 6 straight weeks, 5 a.m., no snoozes. And it was like one day we didn't get up. And then he ended up getting injured and he's not working out now. So it's a lot easier for me to just say I'll sleep till 6 and snooze until 6:30. And it impacts my entire day. And today was a bad one, as I screamed at my kids when they interrupted my workout. But I shared that on social media. Not because I'm perfect or because I'm the girl that's always smiling in the morning after my workout, because I want people to understand it's hard for me too, but that my health is a non-negotiable. Showing up for my workouts is a non-negotiable. With this business, your personal journey is always going to be the greatest thing that will relate you to other people in your stories. I'm not saying those are the posts that are going to sell you a challenge pack like that, but they're going to make you trustworthy and they're going to make you, real to the people who are following along. So don't discount the power of your personal journey. If nothing else, get your workout in, drink your shake, and share that. Going into the income producing activities, and I'm going to go in a little bit here in a bit about, how to fit this into your day, but it can be really easy to do all the little things that are maybe pretty or a little more fun versus the things that are going to actually move your business forward. So at a time when it's really busy, you want to kind of filter out the fluff And if maybe you're working on a website, that's probably not the time to perfect that or find a web designer or work on a new logo. Those things are cool and they're fun, but that's not going to be something that moves your business forward. If maybe you wanted to create new graphics for something or a new team page, something like this isn't the time when you're doing that. Because I promise you, the same way you're busy, your customers are too. So realize that by sharing what you're doing and how you're doing it, you're also establishing that way of how you can relate to the people who are following along in your journey. The first things, when I think of income producing activities that I will do no matter what, it's connecting with new people on social media, invites, and follow-ups. Those are the three things that I will be doing every single day. Yes, there are other things you could be doing, but those are the things that, with my business activity tracker by my side, that I don't skip out on. Now, maybe I can only do 5 of each when it's time crunch. Maybe it's 3, maybe it's 10. I don't know what your numbers are. Your numbers probably, football's on. You can hear my husband screaming. The numbers probably correlate to whatever your goals are. And if you need to scale it. Understand that your effort still is going to be what puts forth the results in your business, but don't skip anything. Don't stop it. Just understand you may have to adjust. And I want to make sure we touch on this because this is another thing that I saw myself doing, was skipping out on the PD. And I went probably like 2 weeks without really listening to a podcast. I missed 2 national wake-up calls. I started them and then something happened and I got interrupted and I never finished them. And the mindset piece of this business is just as important as the actions that you're doing. Because if you're telling yourself, I'm busy, everyone's busy, nobody wants to buy from me, nobody has time to work out right now, then I promise you, you're only going to talk to people who are busy and don't have time or a desire to work out right now. But when you fuel your mind with that positivity, with that daily boost of this business matters, my job matters, I make an impact, I have power, I have the opportunity at my hand. And when you're constantly feeding your mind with those things, that's what you find. That's what you find when you go to social media to invite people. That's what you find when you wake up in the morning and you're happy and you're motivated and you're inspired. That is then what you're going to attract the rest of the day. So I know I'm talking vital behaviors, right? Like that's what you're seeing here. But these are the things that you have to be doing to make sure that you are continuing to move your business forward. Now, I did want to give you guys a couple of recommendations of some books that really kind of kick you in the booty, kind of get you going at a time when, these aren't your like fluff books. These aren't your like light reads, super like rah books. These are the books that are going to be like, go get to work. I'm reading this one now, David Goggins. I thought it was Goggins. My husband corrected me. David Goggins. Can't Hurt Me. Amazing. Now I'm listening to it on Audible because they give extra little behind the scenes footage, which I actually haven't really experienced in other Audible books. These are all available in Audible. Because a time when, unless you like die hard, just love to crack open a book and sit there and read, Audible has been one of the greatest things that I've been leveraging over these last few months. Because when I'm getting ready in the morning, or when I'm, driving to pick up my kids from school, or driving to hockey practice, or for example, we've now been having 2 hockey practices every Saturday and Sunday for my kids, where you're there for about an hour and a half each time. And those children, they want to look up from those stands and see me looking. Now, I can't hear anything that happens on that ice, but I can make sure my eyes are on them. And my eyes are on them, and I've got these earbuds in my ear, and I am listening to stuff that is going to motivate me and is going to empower me and is going to help me move my business. So these are some of the books. I can drop this like JPEG image into the team pages too, but Built to Last was actually a book. Keith Callahan, he's a Beachbody coach. He wrote that one, super easy read, listen to. It's a really good book. Girl Boss was so old, but still one of my favorite books that really just helps me. I think I was training for a Pittsburgh marathon. I told you I didn't run. I tried it once. I did a marathon relay, and this was the book I listened to when I was training for that. But obviously, if you're going to be doing the new 30-day breakaway and you're going to be listening to some things, I know some of them have like guided music and then some of them don't, like listen to a book. Listen to a book, leverage that time, and make, kind of the multitasking aspect of always being listening and filling in those times. So like I said, I'll drop this image in the team page so you guys have them. But the quote that everybody has heard at some point, we all have the same 24 hours in the day. Now, I know we all have different obstacles that are on our plates, and you don't know what someone else is dealing with. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know what they have at work, at home, or anything, but we do all have the same 24 hours in a day. And no matter which way you look at it, it comes down to how you prioritize things. So a few things as you're kind of, going through this and thinking about what do I need to be doing, ask yourself these questions. Does this need to be done at all? Like, I know I catch myself, if I'm in like group chats or I'm in, other pod pages where there's like, just places where people are collaborating and sharing ideas. I'll catch myself being like, ooh, that's a good idea. If you were part of the virtual vacation over the weekend, my goodness, there were some great ideas shared in that virtual vacation over the weekend. And it can be paralyzing. It can be like, oh my gosh, there's like all these things to be done. And like, where do I even begin? Just pause. And when you see something great, note it, but then ask yourself, does this even need to be done? And, don't worry if she's doing it or she's doing it. Does this need to be done for your business? And honestly, sometimes you'll be surprised how quickly you can X something off your list. Also, am I the only one who can do this? I know I had probably hired an assistant in my business probably 2 to 3 years in. I actually don't even remember when it was, but it was a girl who was a coach who was willing to help. She helped a couple other coaches do some administrative things. And I was like, wow. And it took me a long time to even give her something to do because I like the control. I like to be the ones doing it. I like to be the one delegating it. But once I was able to get help with the things that somebody else could do, it was mind blowing. Now, maybe it's not with your business. Maybe it's at home. Can your kids help around the house? Can you ask your husband to do something else that maybe they're not already doing? I know mine will do anything I ask for him, but I have to ask. I have to ask and bring it up. He does not read my mind. So one thing that helped me early on in my business was coming up with the courage to actually ask for help and understand that you do not have to be a one-woman show and you do not have to do it all. But when you can work together with your family, with your friends, it really can, those little tiny things really can make a big difference. So ask yourself, can someone else do this? Do you have like a teenage child that could help with, something with your social media? Chances are they're probably better at it anyways. But don't be afraid to ask for help. How important is this? Is it urgent? Does it need to be done now? I too will catch myself, again, you see something, you want to do it. And it's like, I was working on putting these slides together. And I think I first had them up on my computer, I don't know what time, probably like 9:30 this morning. But then my to-do list I kept going off on other things and I had to keep steering myself back. No, this is what needs to be done right now because this cannot be done tomorrow. Something else that can be done tomorrow can be done later. So understanding the idea of prioritizing this, and again, just collaboration over competition. As we get into this busy season, whether it's your challenge groups or your, the way you train your coaches, whatever it is, talk to another coach, work with another coach, run one with someone you've never ran a group with before. Not only does it help the workload, help with the content creation, you can really learn a lot of things. That was probably one of the things I did most frequently in my first year of coaching is I would run a group with a different coach every month. A different coach on my team, I'd be like, hey, what are you doing for October? Do you want to run a fit bet together? Hey, what are you doing for November? Do you want to do a Whole30 group together? And just constantly teaming up with different people, because then you don't have to do it all. But then on top of that, you can also learn a lot by working with somebody else. So as we get into, these last 12 weeks of the year, don't feel like, oh my gosh, I've got all these things on my plate and I have to do them all, because a lot of coaches, I think right now, are feeling that same way. And if you can work together, whether it's somebody on your team or maybe somebody you met through Team Cup, somebody you are going to NLC with next year or went to NLC with last year, whatever it may be, start working together with other people, because it can help not only your friendships, but then your workload and take things off your plate that don't have to be done only by you. A couple tips as you are planning out your day. This is really how I've been focusing. Our kids are in a hybrid schedule. So my kids are in school Monday, Tuesday, and then they are home Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Of course, this coming off of 6 months at home after everything at the beginning or earlier in the year. So things have been wild. Like there's been, such a light routine, so much unpredictability. And I've really been working in these 10 to 15 minute increments. This is probably the easiest way for me to schedule out time, schedule out calls. What am I going to do? When I do my to-do list for the next day, I'm thinking in these small amounts of time, because generally speaking, I don't have a big block of time where I know I can sit and work uninterrupted. So planning out in these 10 to 15 minute increments can really help your creativity as well, because you're not just sitting there, trying to be productive in front of a computer for X amount of hours. That has been really helpful. And then just there's no dead time, when you're planning out your day, which I know the Rise Up Planner has, I want to say they're in 30-minute increments, but it has the calendar that's in there where you can like lay it out. My goodness, you can use your Gmail, your Google Calendar, and put it all in a Google Calendar. You can write it on a piece of paper. It doesn't have to be fancy, but writing things out. And you might be surprised either that you're allotting more time and maybe dilly-dallying between something, earlier in your day, or that you're maybe allotting X amount of time for putting your Instagram stories up after your workout, when you can be like, you know what, if I gave myself 5 minutes, there'd be no scrolling, there'd be no messing around. It would be workout done, put the stories on, go get in the shower. And it would just be like a boom, boom, boom. But when you allot yourself more time, you're going to take up all the time that you give yourself. So planning in these increments, and then also allowing yourself to see it in a calendar. I know Mel has done calls on time blocking your schedule and your calendar. That can be a really big help. And then planning around your energy. So if you are somebody who pops out of bed at 4 a.m. and is just bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, then that's when you should be getting up and doing your work. And then you know what? You're probably in bed by like 8:30, 9 o'clock, and a nighttime team call is just not your thing. Similarly, if you do not function before 7 a.m., don't try to plan like a group workout with your challengers at 5 a.m. because that's not going to work. You're not going to want to be there. It's not going to be productive. Plan around the times where you are most energetic. If every afternoon you hit a 2 or 3 o'clock slump and you feel like that, like done, I don't know. I feel like when I worked as an accountant, every afternoon at 3 o'clock, I grabbed a Diet Dr. Pepper. That was like the routine I had, because I would feel myself fading every afternoon at that time. If that's when you're fading, don't schedule like a live video in your team page, or, a call with a client or whatever it is. Plan around your energy. And when you maximize your natural energy flow, you're just going to find that you're more productive. And constantly experiment. I do something different all the time. If it works, I typically repeat it. I might tweak it, but if it doesn't work, I simply try again. This business is full of failing forward, of making mistakes, figuring it out, trying again. So try new things. If your challenge groups, like if you feel like you go into your challenge groups and you're dreading the check-in because it's so boring, then your challengers probably think the exact same thing. So change something up. Talk to somebody, grab a team call where we talked about firing up your challenge groups, but do something differently. If you find that you absolutely cannot stand doing 30-day breakaway because you hate running, then my goodness, friend, do not do 30-day breakaway. Do something different. Learn it, check it out, know what it is, and still talk about it, but you don't have to actually do it. Do the things that actually are going to bring you joy. And then at the end of the day, plan out the following day before you close up. So when you wake up the next morning, there is no scrolling your phone, checking out to see what your friends are doing. It is a simple, you get up and you get to work. And that if you can take out all that downtime of messing around and scrolling, you'll be surprised how much more productivity time you can find throughout the day. And I did want to give just a little example of, like a schedule to follow. Now I know everybody's going to be different. So this would be an example if you were gone from, say, 7 to 5. So if you can't do anything for the business between 7 and 5 in the day, what would you do? This is where I would tell you to start. Wake up early. That is going to be my solution to most people. Now I get it. Not everybody's a morning person. Trust me. I didn't used to be. I became one when I wanted to grow this business. Because at the time, with a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old, there really wasn't any other time for me to get anything done when they were awake. So I started by saying, okay, what can I do? What can I sacrifice? When can I make sure that I have time to take care of myself and work on my business? And it started with 5 a.m. wake-up calls 6.5 years ago. So that was this change I made. Again, you might be someone who's a night owl, and maybe you flip-flop this and adjust the hours and kind of move things later into the evening. But here is my sample. Waking up 5 a.m., alarm goes off. And when that alarm goes off, continuously tell yourself, I'm awake, I'm awake, I'm awake. Today I will do the things other people won't, so that someday I can have the life other people wish they could have. Jim Rohn, maybe, might be that quote. I don't even know. But it was a constant, I'm going to tell myself that I'm awake, I've got things to work towards, and just get up. And as hard as it is sometimes to roll out of bed, once I'm up, then it's over and you don't have to worry about it anymore. So wake up, energize, and read read, listen, journal, meditate, whatever you want to do during, and I don't chug my Energize, I drink it. So I would wake up, get my Energize, read, meditate, journal for 10 to 15 minutes. You got your time for your workout. Now, a little tip in here, if you're finding that you're short on workout time, maybe your mornings are a little crushed, don't forget we have Transform 20. Transform 20 is 20 minutes a day. I was talking with one of my coaches she's a teacher, and she said, the common thing, all her challengers are teachers. And she's like, everyone's busy. I'm like, okay, so if that's the common thing you're hearing, what about changing what you're doing? And if somebody doesn't have time for a 40-minute MBF workout or MBFA workout, or to crunch out, an hour with Autumn and 80-day obsession, if you're trying to get ready for Control Freak coming out, go back to 20 minutes a day with Transform 20. I love that program and got amazing results only doing that program. So I have in here a 40-minute workout. Obviously, you can adjust that as needed. 6 to 6:10, put your workout clips on stories and get a post ready. Some people might find posting, if you're an early morning workout, sometimes you can post super early in the morning and get a lot of traction. I usually find it does better if I post a little bit later. So even if I'm working out early, I don't usually post it right then. Then I shower, get ready. I pop in my earbuds while I'm getting ready, and I'm always listening to a call, a book on Audible, the National Wake Up Call podcast. That's usually how I catch those. And I got my earbuds in while I'm doing that kind of stuff. Quick check-in with your challengers, make your post, and then get your kids, head into work. That is a 2-hour block. Not all working. What do we have in here for work? There's 10, 15, when you count your PD in here, you've got 40-ish minutes of work counting personal development time. So a lot of it is you taking care of yourself with your fitness side. And again, kind of taking out the day, if you have a lunch break, and it's super tempting to chit chat with everybody else at work, this would be the time that you would not take a lunch break. And that would be time that you could spend, creating content, answering your messages, answering your emails. I know that nurses especially don't tend to get lunch breaks. I feel like there's a lot of nurses on the team. They don't usually have that. Teachers, you're pretty rushed. So this would be, if you by chance get that, to make sure that you are, using that time wisely. Obviously in the evening, blocked off family time, you may have that time that you're able to work. Like I said, tomorrow night, my daughter has hockey. I would be able to get an hour of time in, whether it's listening to a book or actually working during that time, because I can't even be anywhere near her on the ice. I just have to be there. So you can adjust those evening times as needed, but I kind of left that blank. 8 to 9 team call tonight, or even a power hour. This is where you pull out that business activity tracker and go through the most necessary actions. Quick check-in, make your list for the next day, and I have it shut down at 9:30. Now again, part of working towards your goals does include sacrifices, whether it's, getting up early or staying up late. I can tell you there were times where I did both. There were times I was up at 5 a.m. without fail, and there were times I was sitting in this chair working until midnight. And I did it for a long time. There are seasons in this business, because you don't work a 9 to 5. You have an entrepreneurial masterpiece at your fingertips, and what you work will depend on what you're working towards. So you might find yourself working an hour or two a day, or you might find yourself with really big goals and you might need to work a little bit more. But I wanted to give you guys an outline of what an example day could be like if you just had a little bit of time in the morning and a little bit of time in the evening. Is that helpful? I see a couple things in the chat, so I just want to check these before moving on. Can't Hurt Me, Michelle, you read that too. Slight Edge is a really awesome book. Totally agree.
Love you guys.
And I agree, Ev, that 5 minutes makes a big difference in workouts. I am a 30-minute max. I don't want any more than 30 minutes. I kind of tap out at 30 minutes. Lisa, stories and posting are the most time consuming. I agree, it definitely can be. And I think Mel had a post a couple, I don't know when it was, I at some point recently, where she talked about like writing it, deleting it, writing it, deleting it, writing it, deleting it. I don't know if Mel's on here or not, but I feel like that used to be me in the beginning, and I would like totally scrutinize it. What I find is more helpful now, like today's morning post was actually about something that happened this morning, so it was written in the moment. So many of my posts are written in advance. You know, I use the Plan app to kind of upload my pictures, or I have drafts in my Instagram. A lot of my posts are written in advance because I agree, if I'm trying to do it right now, I can overthink it, and I can, you know, like the right words aren't coming to me because I'm trying to post it right in this moment. But sometimes I'll just get a thought in my head and I'll just write up a post, and then I just save it in my notes. And sometimes I have the post written but not a picture. Other times I have a picture and not a post. So I just kind of, when the ideas are flowing, I like take time to take note of them, and then I put them together later. So I agree that the stories and posting can definitely be a time consuming part. But if you can front load that and kind of get some written, especially if I'm going to be like away for a weekend or with friends, like there was a time where I used to be with friends and I would feel like I had to stop and go write a post. And nobody wants to be hanging out with someone who's going to pick up their phone and write a post in the middle of, you know, whatever you're doing. So I started trying to write more things in advance. And if I know I'm going to be out with friends, maybe that's when I throw up like a white quote, like a quote up that's just kind of like a simple, funny thing that I don't necessarily need to be engaging back with people on, where I can still keep it consistent, still have my social media going out and have things there, but without it being like this thought provoking thing. Batching content. Yes, yes, yes. Overthinking under pressure is totally paralyzing. Yeah, and I agree, Betsy. Like if I try to write a post right now, I mean, I'm getting like to my tap out time of 9. So like by the end, I'm probably going to be like jibber jabbering because my mind's dead. Like I've been thinking all day, I've been talking, and it's so much easier for me to do that kind of stuff in the morning. So like if you know that, this is where it comes back to working in times with your energy. If you know that writing at night is harder for you, but you also know that your posts in the evening get way more engagement than they do in the morning, then in the morning, write your post for later that evening. And yes, this is my favorite thing, Trina, you said it best. No one knows if your workout picture is from this morning or 2 weeks ago. And I always use the example of my sister-in-law had a boutique. And when she would get clothes in, they came in big boxes. She did not open that box and throw up a wrinkly t-shirt and be like, come buy this. She made it look pretty first, right? She got it out. She probably steamed it, put it with an outfit, put some accessories on it, took a picture, made sure it was right, scheduled the right time to post it, and then you saw it. And it said new arrivals. Doesn't mean that it arrived in the truck 30 seconds ago and it just came onto the Instagram square. It's a new arrival. And that is simple as that. So don't overthink it. I rarely, no, like, and I kind of do things a little bit different, Instagram and Facebook, but like my Instagram page, few posts are live because I'm usually planning that out and I'm posting them at a certain time where I know my engagement's going to be better and the pictures have already been taken. So realize that was my favorite thing that someone could say, your picture today does not have to be, or your post does not have to be a picture from right in the moment. Such a great tip. All right, so there's my sample day. Is there any other questions on that? No wrinkled posts. You guys can start telling you, put that on a Post-it note on your computer. No more wrinkled posts. Do you batch your photos the same day? I've done it before. So like, you know, like today I actually like have clean hair and a real shirt on. So normally I took some pictures today. But yes, if I haven't done it for a while, but there are times where I will grab 3 or 4 tops and some jewelry, and I'll go in my living room, I'll go in my kitchen, I'll sit outside, I'll put the brick wall of our house behind us, I'll sit in the kitchen, and I'll kind of go throughout and change my tops and pull my hair up, and I will take pictures just to have them. Again, not that I necessarily need them right now, but now I have them. So when I find a post, if I like get that creative moment where I write a post and I don't have a picture yet, I can take that post and put it with an old picture. I have 36,000 pictures currently on my phone, which is awful. But that's because I take a crap ton of pictures and I don't delete them and I reuse them forever and ever. I've posted pictures that are 2, 3, 4 years old and no one ever knows. Like I honestly pretty much look the same. So, I mean, if my hair is in a ponytail, you can't tell if it was, 6 inches longer or right after I donated it. So I constantly reuse content. Also posts. I look at my on this day memories every day. Before I post, sometimes when I'm drinking my Energize, I open up Facebook and it says memories and it shows you all your posts that you had on that day. And before I even take that post workout picture, I might read those. Because can I take a picture that will match one of those posts that's already written really well and now I don't have to worry about it anymore? I look at those every day. And if I was actually talking to a coach about this not long ago, and she's like, she goes, I don't feel like you recycle content. I said, well, then that makes me feel really good because almost all of my posts have been posted before. Now, again, like a post like today, that was very much like this happened today, wasn't. But a lot of my posts, a lot of my, anytime I have a launch group, I go back to like the launch post I wrote for, MBF was the same launch post I used for Morning Meltdown 100. I just changed the text around and just made it fit the other one. Like, work smarter, not harder. Date night posts, I have about 4 of them that I use that talk about date nights and how I value my date nights and where date nights came about and how I have all these written. So if I have a date night with my husband, last thing I want to do is sitting in the car writing a post, but I can quickly search in my Facebook history, date night, and look at posts I've done that said date night, and I can read them and just pick one. And yes, some of you might all now notice that, but I don't care if you notice it because I'm not trying to get you to join my challenge group. I'm not trying to get you to join my team. The people who notice it are either people who've been watching you like a hawk and are ready to jump in, or they're people who've already joined you and they don't care anyways. So long story short, go off on the tangent there, but yes, recycle content. It is like my biggest business building tip. Use things, look at your on this day memories. Now, when you've been coaching for 6 years, you've got a lot of on this day memories to pull from. But start it now, start the content. And that is such a great tip to use. All right, moving along. All right, we're almost done here. Just the one thing I want to focus on, just being intentional. Like I said, work smarter, not harder. You don't have to be the person that stays up the latest. I hope you guys are all in bed super early because you got all your work done. Be intentional with the time you have. If you're not creative at night, do not end this call and spend an hour trying to write the most perfect post when you know your brain isn't working. Go to bed. Shut it down. Go to bed and wake up refreshed the next morning and post it. And if you're sitting there thinking, but I don't know what to say, then don't say anything. Just let it go. It's okay. Yes, you want to always be showing up on social media and you want to be, being real and being you, but you don't have to be perfect. And if you've got nothing else to say, let it go, get a good night's sleep, and do it the next day. Time blocking your business hours, whether you are a brand new coach and this is your very first call, or you've been in this for a while and you feel like you're still flying by the seat of your pants every day, block out when you're working. Right now, I'm only actually booking one-on-one calls with my team on Mondays and Tuesdays because those are the only 2 days that my kids are in school. So at this point, I am front loading as much as possible on Mondays and Tuesdays, content for the week, pictures for the week, getting emails drafted out to send to my clients, everything I'm trying to do on Mondays and Tuesdays because the rest of my week is a little bit more unpredictable. Know what time you have and when you can work it and then work backwards thinking, when can I block out 10 to 15 minutes for each of these things? Kill your newsfeed on your computer. It's a plugin. You can Google it. One thing that helped my productivity so much was that when I'm working, I try to work from my computer, not my phone. Again, COVID threw some wrenches in the plan, but I try to do work sitting at my computer. If you open Facebook on my computer or on my laptop or my desktop, there is no newsfeed. You cannot scroll because about 4 years ago, I killed the newsfeed so that I wouldn't ever get caught scrolling. I don't know if there's a way. I haven't figured out a way to do it on my phone. I don't really want to do it on my phone because sometimes if I get my work done, I enjoy a scroll. But that has been something that has helped my productivity level. And then it just helps you not compare too. Get in, get your work, and get out. And just last thing is just never stop working on you. When you feel good, when you genuinely feel really good about the program you're doing and the food you're eating and the energy and the people you're attracting and the people you're helping get results and the coaches who are joining your team, you will have the best boost of energy to your overall day, to your life. So by focusing on you, doing your workout, making yourself a priority, you will ripple into all other areas of your business. So when it gets busy and it's super tempting to put yourself on the back burner, remember that focusing on yourself will in the end be the greatest thing to grow your business. And I am not going to try to sit here and fill 20 more minutes to get to 9 o'clock. Why? Because I want to be intentional and use your time wisely. So I will check the chat to see if there are any other questions. This brings peace. Yay, Betsy, that makes me happy. You were so right. Feel good, do good. And yes, go kill your news feed. And then also with like laundry, Abby says about, doing dishes and laundry. Honestly, that is when I'll plug the earbuds in. Like I don't fold a load of laundry unless I'm like, doing something else. So like those earbuds, I mean, they're sitting here on charge right now because I use them all the time because I'm always, if I'm going to be cooking or, doing the, unloading the dishwasher, or folding the laundry or running the vacuum, I'm always doing that. So multitasking for the win. All right, well, that's all I have. So I'm not going to keep you here. If there is nothing else, I feel like I hit all of the questions. I know that it's easy to say it's busy right now. But if you keep telling yourself that you're so busy, I promise you your time will be filled with busyness and you won't get anything done. So stop saying you're busy. Start telling yourself you're going to be intentional with the work that you have. Time block it out. Figure out when you're going to work and then just sit down and do the work. And if you need a little picture of, going to the groceries and not needing to use coupons to buy the food you want or whatever it is you're working for, write it somewhere where you can stick it and look at it every day. So when you get up and do the work or you close yourself down at the end of the day, you know exactly what you're working towards. All right, any other questions? Thank you. You guys are so very welcome. I am glad that this was helpful. All right, yeah, kill the news feed, Christy. Such an awesome little thing. All right, cool. We can get a team picture. All right, let me stop the share. All right, okie dokie, friends. Say cheese screen 1. And let me go to the second screen. All you second screeners, I don't see a lot of faces. I see a whole lot of names. There's a face, there's a face, and everybody turns it off. There they are. See, you guys are so pretty. You should have had those on the whole time. I know, I often have my camera off, trust me. I think the whole virtual vacation weekend, my camera was off because I was home with my kids and, it wasn't a sight that anybody needed to see constantly. All right, anyways, page 2, cheese it up. All right, thank you for giving me your time tonight. If you have scheduled work time, finish it up before you go to bed. If not, get some rest. Rock it in the morning. All right, yes, Christine, I will drop these slides whenever I share the recording, so you'll get that out. All right, have a great night, ladies and gentlemen, if any of you are on here. Good night.